Folks, I don't know why I got this shovel here. These guys brought this out for me. I have no intent in using that today, but we've got an electrical problem here in this old shed. I think Tom and I dug a trench back in 1977 from way over there to here, and we dug it about this deep. And you've heard people talk about rocks in a driveway eventually getting down and destroying an electrical wire. I think that's what we had happen here today, don't you?
I'm thinking that had something to do with it.
It took 40 years for it to happen, but we're having some electricity problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a new wire, or a new set of wires, all the way from our junction point way over there by our grain bins over here to the shed. Let's get started.
Let's get going.
This is a new trencher bucket, comes from Deere. I think it's a 6-inch wide bucket. It doesn't have a very big sidewall. That keeps it from the mud getting stuck into it as bad. Am I in the wrong place?
No. I see a wire.
Yeah, I see it.
This is the flat wire going to the post in the yard here.
Okay. The power box here for this particular building is right inside the door there. So we're trying to get to these wires, figure out, where we are, and see if we can find the incoming power wire here. I believe he's found it. Now there's probably a lot of you talking about utility marking already, or at least thinking about it. Well, this is all private utilities. This is on the other side of the meter, so a public utilities marking service wouldn't help us with this. And we already know exactly where this is, so for right here it's not really an issue of a marking. It's actually just finding the actual wires.
Very good, Randall. You've done a very good job. How deep you want to be there? I don't think you have to be stupid deep there.
Yeah, I was just trying to take out your crumbs now. That's deep enough, isn't it?
Yeah, he's found a wire there. That's the big guy, isn't it?
I thought there was more strands than that of it.
No.
What we see?
Or is that the telephone wire? That may be the phone wire.
Ah, phone wire, sure enough. The conduit is east of it, about 6 or 8 inches.
It's right there by that flat wire.
Not very far from the flat wire, but it must be farther.
But it's farther in because it's probably underneath the concrete.
Well, this little trenching bucket is working fabulous in the mud here. It doesn't get plugged up like my other buckets with the wider, taller sides on them. Yeah, I mean, it is sort of plugged up as tall as the sides go there. You can see it, but that doesn't really matter. It continues to function.
It's a wonder he's not got it with the digger here.
But it goes underneath this concrete.
I think it goes underneath the concrete.
But it may have not been. If you guys dug the trench, where'd it go? Did you go around the concrete, or did you move the concrete?
I don't think the concrete was here when we put the trench in. That's great there. That'll work wonderful there.
We're not going to try to take out that old wire, are we?
No, I don't think so.
Really, I think our question is, can I start digging right here beside this pipe and go this way with you guys' help?
Yeah, I think so.
Whoa, that doesn't look good, does it? Yeah, it might have been. I might have just had sod.
Oh, that feels like something to me.
I thought I might have had something there, but
That's
I didn't.
kind of what it looked like.
And I thought I felt something there.
I may have just been going too deep on the sod. Okay, well that's as deep as I was, so I'm going back to the pipe.
Oh!
dryer wire.
I know it. That's the one I didn't want to bother.
I know it.
Did I break it?
I don't think you broke it, but it stretched on it.
I hope I didn't scrape the cover off of it. They feel okay, Tom?
Yeah, I kinked it a little bit there. I can't find the other wires, what I was trying to find.
Well, that's okay. Do we need, what are we going to do? Just go in on top of those?
Yeah,
So I guess it don't matter.
yeah.
What do you want me to do? Go deeper, or you want
No,
me
I think you're deep enough there myself.
At that depth, the way it looks.
Now you're getting close to your gas line. Maybe not yet. I'm
But
paranoid.
you're happy with the depth?
Yeah. I think that gas line's out.
Shouldn't be to it yet.
I think we're out here.
But all I was meaning is it still had some
I
west
think it's
in it.
right in here.
Can you feel it if you do hit it?
Probably not until too late.
Yeah.
I didn't feel those wires at all. If I'm deep enough, then we don't worry about it, I guess. That hardly seems deep enough to me, but then...
Well, you're not that old, not that far from spade deep.
Yeah, I know it.
I wish I knew where that shed wire was at. That's a one.
Well, it'll be deeper than this.
It was pretty deep, wasn't it?
Well,
it was their
anytime
trencher.
you use a trencher, you go
It was
deeper
their
than
trencher deep, wasn't it?
that. There's no way, if I was using a trencher, there's no way I'd stop it this deep.
I guess you could take a little more here.
Yeah, don't get me as trying to argue with you. I don't care how deep it is, so if you're, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, I'm just rather not hit that gas line.
Well, I'd rather not hit that gas line either.
I think we're far from it here now, but I don't know.
Yeah,
about
just
its
come
depth.
straight up now if you can, and we'll start in again here.
Well, that's getting deeper there, so. Is that deep enough then?
Yes. Now you're close to it there. I think it goes down. Right there.
There it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is about where that's at, but they may have trenched that in.
I like this little bucket. It's kind of like a plow. And I don't even really care about getting a bucket full. You're just kind of, I realize it's messier than a traditional trench, but it since it doesn't have to move much dirt, it goes faster, I think. Now you think there's still risk of that thing being here right yet, Tom,
Oh,
right?
yeah. I
Right.
think you're not far from over
I
the
think
top
you're
of
close
it.
to it right now. Whoa, 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 whoa. What's this? See what you feel there.
I don't see how you'll ever find it poking. It'll just run right beside it and you probably wouldn't even feel it. You think you found it?
Looks like it.
Well then, measure your depth there and use your spade and try the
Beside
same.
it don't feel that way.
Use your spade in that same spot.
Well, it's about.
Spade deep there. Yeah.
Look for me, you know, I can't see anything.
Up a little bit.
So
What's
it
that
gonna
white?
do?
What's that right there?
I don't know. It looked like a bean.
Okay. Sorry, I was paranoid. Unless it's a rock down in there.
Well, that's good enough anyway, isn't it?
That's deep enough.
That's
isn't it?
deep enough.
We're not worried about freeze or anything there.
Nope. I think we can trench now. But like I say, I don't know where that other wire is that's going.
Well,
It may be closer to the tank because it's going over to the,
it's going to the post from the phone or the.
but the tank ought to have been there. That's
The
a,
tank was there in the pictures.
okay.
In that picture, it comes around that post about this far away, around this tank, about this far away from the tank, headed for that post.
Ugh.
So go look at your pictures real quick.
I think I'd feel better before he started.
So Tom's bringing out a little piece of history here, probably good things for folks to do. We've got a photo album here where Dad took a bunch of pictures when we ran some wire to the far new building over there, new building. This would have been what, 1990?
1991.
1991. And so not only did Dad take photos and have several photos from from different strategic areas. He also drew a diagram showing where they are. So we're trying to make sure we don't hit one of those power cables.
I think we're good. I think your
Yeah, it
other
looks
wire's
like
closer to the
the
tank.
other one's closer to the tank. That's good.
How deep, you want him deeper than this, Dad?
Well, how deep is he?
It's at 18 according to the gauge.
Yeah, but see,
I think he ought to be at least 2. You may want to graduate it instead of...
That's 24, real close on his gauge.
if we're not scared of hitting anything, we might as well go to China.
We're not scared now, I don't think. Are we? Not scared, not thinking we're going to hit anything.
The only thing we're going to do is be in that other wire.
Yeah. You happy?
That's plenty deep, isn't
That's
it?
plenty deep.
Man, you're going fast. That's a honking on.
What a beating the camera person's willing to take. I think it's going to get a little bit more difficult here. In fact, maybe a lot more difficult. In just a few feet, we're going to get into the driveway portion. So far, we've been into, you know, dirt, grass. We still drive over it a lot, so it should have been packed down pretty hard, but it didn't have any rock on it. We'll soon be out here into where we get into the crushed stone.
Boy, it's a booking. It's really booking across there. It's going fast.
He's thinking the driveway's going to slow him down a little bit.
It may do, but he's doing really good there.
So we ran into the wire that we're trying to replace.
The existing wire, yes.
So this was the one that we think's bad under the driveway here. We're probably going to be right in its same path here going across here. So I guess we'll just have to watch, try to keep it from getting wrapped up around the trencher itself. And it's hard for me to go straight.
Yeah. That thing's cruising right through the driveway, though.
It's not having any trouble so far.
No.
This is not the oldest of the driveway though.
Right, a little bit farther over.
Yeah.
We've added a little bit of rock over here a little farther as time's gone. You're still pretty well in line.
Okay. Not having any trouble so far with the driveway. I'm actually a little bit surprised. But I would say conditions are almost perfect for doing this trenching, Randall. We've got enough moisture that it's not hard here, but it's not muddy either. You know, one thing I like about this is how the dirt is so crumbed real nicely. It fills in very nicely. You can push it in easy and it'll just fall in instead of big old hunks that...
Now, where was Dad's drain at?
Already over it.
Okay. Do you just want to come up and go about 16 or 18 inches deep there?
Probably. I guess we missed the drain.
Well, I hope so. I don't smell it.
You don't have an ocean here yet.
You see a rock in there or anything? Yeah, we don't have water, do we? It felt like rock to me. I don't see any water. See, I had started coming up. You can see how far up I've come. I think I was just hitting rock.
I think it was.
Run your shovel down, see how deep I am. Okay, so that's not far from 16, is it?
No,
That's not going to get a water hose at that depth.
I don't think so. Right here's a water pipe, I think.
So we're not quite at the critical stage on it yet, are we?
No, but I think we're above it.
Well, we've got the trench dug, and it's dark. So I think we'll get to running the wire tomorrow. It's also getting colder.
Yeah, it is. Even here in the deep south.
So we're gonna put all this wire in conduit because it's under this driveway and because the 1977 version did indeed go bad, presumably because rocks getting through the insulation. So I'm gonna have to slide this one piece at a time this whole duration. I am gonna have tired arms. It's meant to be 4 separate wires, 2 powers, a neutral, and then an equipment ground.
That works a lot better, don't it?
Oh my goodness. Well, like most projects, this one's taken longer than what we'd expect. We haven't worked really hard at it, but we have worked at it. Tom's inside working on finishing some of the electrical on one end, then we have to finish the electrical on the other end, but meanwhile Randall and I are going to start filling in. You might notice this big hole here and say, what did that have to do with this trench? Well, we hit a drainage line, so we had to repair that while we were here. I didn't have anything except for that tiny little trenching bucket for Johnny, so that wasn't going to be able to dig a big enough hole here to get in there, at least in any reasonable time, so we got out the 580 for that. Got that all repaired, everything's fine. We put the wire in conduit like we were discussing earlier. You saw, I think, us putting some of that conduit on. I think this will hold for years and years and years. Hey, I've got something I want to show you over here. Yeah, what I found interesting here is this driveway has been here probably almost 40 years. We've talked a lot recently about how to do a driveway, and you saw us do a driveway, what I considered the halfway approach, which we just went out on top of the ground. We put rocks on top of the ground. You've seen on some other channels where they probably do a more proper way of installing a driveway, and they start with some like geotextile fabric type stuff, and then they put down some big, I would call them number 2s, but 2-inch rocks for a good foundation, and then above that they finally get some smaller rocks, maybe with some dust mixed in them. And the reason they do that is because there's a fear that these rocks will just go down and disappear over time. Well, what I'm wanting to show you here is this is surface level. I've taken this is the loose dirt that we pulled out with the trencher. And what I want to show you is that after 40 years, the rocks go down to right here, about my first knuckle. That's all the deeper a rock layer has got on this property. And there are no large foundational rocks there, no big 2-inch. There's no geotextile fabric. This is just putting rocks on top of the ground. And you could say, well, it's real hard soil underneath, but no, we trenched this very easily. As you saw, you can see the kind of soil that we pulled out of here. So I think it's kind of fascinating that the rocks haven't disappeared more than what they did. So our goal is to put some caution tape or some sort of indicator right up here fairly close to the surface. I've actually filled that in a little bit more than I should have for that, so that may be a little bit hard for me to keep from filling it totally full before we do that. You have to flag me to stop because I can't see squat.
Well, here's where your deep plate is.
Like always, we'll figure out how to do it after we've about done.
Part of the time it works really good. The rest of the time I'm questioning.
Can't tell whether I'm doing more fixing or making a mess.
That over there had the most rock in it. That's what you might left there in your top.
I guess got a little more wiring to do, right?
A little bit. Got to hook up the ends.
But we're not going to make it before dark. You're going to have somebody hold the flashlight.
We got candles or something.
But I believe we've got the wiring all run. We patched our drainage problem.
Stuff
And-
happens.
Yeah, it always does. We had a lot of stuff to work over and around here. We found every potential hazard except for that one drain, and that wasn't that bad.
Not a problem.
And then we put that tape in. I think we'll be able to find this one next time.
Yeah.
So what was really going on here, Tom?
Well, we had this wiring been in here since 1977, I think, and we buried a tile spade deep. And at that present time, which was something like that. And at the present time, we had just smaller farm tractors, a lot less traffic. And through the years now, we've been running with loaded big trucks over it. And
so you're thinking we somehow got through the insulation on the wire?
We did something. I don't know, but one of the legs went bad in that aluminum wire, and things happened.
Yeah, and quite frankly, nothing happened. You didn't have any power.
We had power on one leg. I think we lost one of the wires that come from together, or else at least that's what we was thinking. But anyway, we've got new wiring.
Yeah,
so we should be good. Good to go.
Just ran a new one, and this didn't work out too bad. The trenching and the digging and all went pretty good.
My goodness, that little Ventrac thing, that did that in a heartbeat, didn't it?
Yeah.
We were a little concerned about going across this driveway, and it just didn't even.
He didn't even know it.
Right going.
Yeah, you all got the dirt work done here really good. That's great. I saved a bunch of shoveling. A lot easier than what you and I think you helped me.
The 1977 trench was dug by hand by Tom and I from there all the way to there. So naturally it wasn't over one spade deep. Now, when Dad was looking, it was a full spade deep. When Dad wasn't looking, it might have kind of fudged up a little bit, but we tried.
Yeah.
We've dug a lot of trenches, Tom.
We did a lot of trenching.
I can't understand why we didn't get a Ventrac way back then.
Well, I got a pretty good idea of why we didn't, but
I hope you guys have enjoyed this. This has been kind of fun for us. Hopefully it's a project or problem solved. We won't have to worry about it again until
I'll tell you what,
another
Randall
40
and
years.
I really appreciate y'all coming down. And it just made a lot less work out of what we's going to have to do, and so we really appreciate it.
Hey, to all of you guys, have a Merry Christmas. You guys have a Merry Christmas too.
Yes.
Hopefully it'll be warmer next time we're ready to do a project.
I don't know.
We always complain it's either too warm or too hot.
Wah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim. Okay. Let's don't hit it.
Are you wearing your mic between your legs?
Huh?
Are you wearing your mic between your legs? I've got swish, swish, swish.
I think so.
Don't edit that out, Christy.
That's some pretty good sound you're getting there.